Not long ago, many children in Zambia did not go to school because their parents could not afford it. Today, 2.5 million children are peaceful with no kind of violence. Clinics stand where there were none. There's still much work ahead, jobs to create, futures to secure. And that's why Bali keeps working day after day. Because just as we delivered free education, we will keep delivering. For every child still waiting and every family still rising. Until progress is something every Zambian feels. We've started the change. Now let's finish the job. On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia. And let us continue to move Zambia forward together.
Zambia heads to the 2026 general election, a defining moment for the nation's democracy. Who will win the presidential poll and what choice will shape Zambia's future? Follow the latest campaign updates, election stories and breaking development. Tune in to PTV2 Zambia, the home of breaking news 24/7. From the heart of Africa to the world, we bring you the stories, voices and development shaping the continent. Stay informed with the in-depth reports, current affairs, politics, business, culture and major headlines across Africa. Africa in Perspective News every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 15:30 hours, only on PTV2 Zambia, the home of breaking news 24/7.
What is love if you don't give it away?
Want to charm a woman anyway because you are built to pursue.
A purpose marriage really, and it takes a lot of intentionality.
True companionship is not proximity. It is a mutual knowing. Intentional love will always win. Join us for Love Diaries, where couples share their love stories, play fun games, and more. Love Diaries, where love is honest, learning is constant, and conversations matter. Love Diaries, love will always win.
It's a beautiful good morning and welcome. It's another brand new day and a day that brings new opportunities, new perspectives that help us have discussions that shape our nation and the world as a whole. And today, welcome again to Sunrise, to the Sunrise Breakfast Show on Prime TV 2, Zambia, your trusted destination for credible news, insightful discussions, and meaningful engagements. My name is Catherine Walia. We are live on Topstar, channel 110, Azam TV channel 493, and streaming worldwide on Facebook and YouTube and tv2.ptvzambia.com. Wherever you are joining us, it's Friday morning. Thank you for being part of our day today. As always, I'm joined by a man who never shies away from asking the difficult questions and bringing perspectives to issues that matter. Kizito, welcome.
Thank you, Cathy. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's just mornings are always heavy, you know. So we've got to also go heavy on the cup of coffee.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. But mornings are the best for me, basically.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you like about the mornings?
Well, I wake up fresh. Yeah, because I think life requires a freshness, a fresh start. You know, there are things that didn't happen yesterday. There are success stories. There are challenges. But when you wake up again,
It's another day to try.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So this morning, what's on your mind?
A couple of things, Cathy. I think that reflecting throughout the week, we've had a lot of activities. But one key thing, Cathy, is the Chumbuya that is underway, even as we expect to put to rest Chief Mpezeni.
Yeah.
I think that we've seen a lot of Chumbuya happening, which is in order, but we don't know how far. You know, there was a song a long time that Chimbuya ichi mukasiche yako pamalilo. So I don't know whether we've gone too far, whether we've gone digital, whether we should quantum this, or whether we should sit down indeed between Chitimukuru and the Mpezeni and say how far should we go?
Yeah.
So you know, and confirm the reports are saying someone was beaten and you know is battling for their life for Chimbuya.
Yeah.
But I also do know that when the body of the king arrived, I think that certain people were barred from entering the house. So that could just mean that a lot is happening. So yes, we see a lot of powder.
Yeah.
And I think people are in the powder business are very happy.
Yes.
They would wish more Mpezenis to die.
Yeah.
Or otherwise. And on a lighter note, I saw someone write that guys, the Bemba guys, be careful. But Chitimukuru is already 84. So
don't wish us. They don't let them wish us. But you know, I was at a certain place at the market.
Yes.
And I found these two women. Well, there were many others, but they just caught my attention. They were looking all white on their face. Like I couldn't even see their eyes or anything. I was like, wow, this is interesting. It's a pity we don't have anyone to sprinkle powder on here. Yeah, we're missing out on all the fun.
Yeah, but I mean, one nearly died with his paramount chief. That is the Njovu, our head driver.
Oh.
Yeah, so we should have poured, powder on him. But unfortunately, because he was involved in a road accident, which is regrettable, we felt a bit sorry. But we Tuesday is coming. We will still do the honors.
Okay, so what else do we have on the show today?
All right. Okay, so today's program is really packed, and we want you to be part of the conversations. What you say matters wherever you are. We want you to really contribute by engaging in the conversations today, and you can send us messages on 0972 036 306. Now call again just in case you missed it. 0972 036 306. So indeed, you can also come on our Facebook page and just leave your comment and tell us indeed what is happening in your community. What are the hope stories? What are the success stories? What are the challenges? What is really happening? What stories are making headlines in the nation? What issues are pertinent? So indeed, these are some of the things that we want to hear from you. And back to Cathy, perhaps I would also want to know what are some of the thought-provoking conversations that you think we should have around today.
Okay, so today we are now taking a look at the stories making headlines this morning, the developments shaping politics, governance, business, community affairs, and national discourse. Later in the program, we reflect on an important moment in Zambia's recent political history. Today, June 5th, marks 1 year since the passing of Zambia's 6th Republican President, Edgar Chagwa Lungu. To help us reflect on his legacy, leadership, journey, and the significance of this anniversary, we will be joined by Bishop Bilimfula of Jesus Anointed Ministry. We will also shift our attention to consumer protection and standards. The Zambia Bureau of Standards continues to play a critical role in ensuring that products and services reaching consumers meet required quality and safety standards. To help us understand this important mandate, we will be joined by ZAB's certification manager, Mrs. Sarah Shawa Mumba. Then, because every Friday deserves a little inspiration, we will meet a young gospel sensation, Lushomo. Her talent has captured the attention of many people, and this morning we will hear from her about her journey, her passion for music, and the story behind her growing ministry through song. And today you were just telling me about how it is a special day. What are we celebrating today?
Yes, it is indeed, Cathy. So today marks the Environmental Day globally, where we look at the environment. Of course, living in a world, we need to conserve the environment. If we don't, it will have adverse effects on crops, on rains, and just on life generally. I mean, we've had more diseases because our melanin is not able to survive particular heat waves and issues like that. So indeed, it's an important day, as indicated by you, Cathy, that we join the rest of the world in celebrating the Environmental Day, and I hope we can all go green, because that is the way, so basically that's that. And away from celebrating green, we are going to come into the world of sports, where we expect to bring Jeremiah to let us know what will happen this weekend, and other activities that are transpiring on the international market. So Jeremiah, who needs no introduction, will come again, a passionate man indeed, and we expect sports, and when we talk about sports, we're not just talking about football. I know this weekend is packed, but also there's chess, there's basketball, there's volleyball, cycling, and all these things. As a country, we are saying we need to upscale in all these areas. So some of those things are what we expect, Cathy.
Okay. So thank you for joining us once again. This is more than just a breakfast show. This is a place where you can get inspired, get ideas, get to know what is going on in the country, wherever you are. So whatever you're doing, thank you for joining us, and stay with us as we have interesting stuff for you for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, Cathy, and of course we understand that we are in a cold season, but basically it's Friday, and I know people want to hang out, but you also want to know how the weather looks like. You want to go to the sky and predict how the weather looks like. If you are going out tomorrow for a party, or you're going out like my relatives in Eastern Province, you have to go for the funeral. You still have to know what you need to wear, what you need to carry. So we let's just look at the weather and see what the weather is saying, what the skies are telling us. All right, thank you for the updates. That is what the sky looks like, and of course from the skies we roll down, we traverse speedily into the pockets. You want to know, how the economy is looking like, how our currency is operating against other major currencies. Of course, we are part of the global village, so you still want to know how South Africa is doing. You want to know how Zimbabwe is doing, the euro, the pound, and of course, just that aspect of marketing. You also want to know, what the exchange rate for things are, so that if you have to procure, you are aware. So let's just go into the pockets and see what the money markets are looking like.
Thank you for that update on the exchange rates. And today we now take a look at the stories making headlines. 18 members of the same family have been admitted to Old Mukushi Rural Health Center after allegedly consuming a suspected poisonous traditional beverage known as Munkoyo. The Wano District Health Director, Gideon Panja, confirmed the incident to Prime TV 2 News. Dr. Panja says the 18 victims, comprising 7 children and 11 adults, were rushed to the health facility on June 2nd, 2026, after developing complications suspected to be linked to the drink. A Kaba resident who was left paralyzed after being involved in a hit-and-run accident has appealed to members of the public for financial assistance to undergo spinal surgery. Enoch Mutomola, a man in his early 30s, says he has endured more than a year of suffering following the accident, which occurred on November 28 in Kuwema compound as he was returning home from work at a local bakery. According to Mutomola, he was initially rushed to the Zambia Air Force Camp Clinic before being referred to Kabwe Central Hospital, where he was admitted for a week. Following his discharge, medical personnel recommended physiotherapy, but financial constraints made it difficult for him to continue with treatment.
kulala fefini kupeti fina ngabakombo kama guys pakunjipikira kwa fefini wanjipikira kwa bayipika kwa so ngakuli anjafe once a day.
This is Enoch Matomola. A hit-and-run accident changed his life forever, leaving the Cabo resident paralyzed and dependent on others for survival. Although doctors recommended physiotherapy and further medical examinations, financial constraints have made it difficult for him to access the required treatment.
So what magandi umaya physiotherapist ufarandata ixe na ikwata problem kumkoshi so testombo kumibombera na problem yi so toramtuma back kula clinic central hospital so that akakaboni kakumkoshi kuna akasela so that ngabaka kwesha position de niro mkese kuna physio so for twaide kula central hospital kula central hospital kuba ishirete bacha nabalondolera tinene muntu nachula ishenda ndala finga kula ala fine amoru yonse yali ba paralyzed even ngwa maboko aya so apa so nishi teti njika techinto so kuchikata maboko yonse yali ba affected.
Medical assessments have since indicated that Matomola requires specialized spinal surgery and related medical equipment valued at 40,850 kwacha.
Ndala fyo kubetu kukula ala fini na uka na ikala kupashikona nala na ikala kupashikona nala shasa mbapo.
The prolonged medical condition has also placed a significant burden on his family, with his brother becoming his primary caregiver.
Therefore, kwa yoda brother wandi unatupata kwa challenge yako ibati therefore tushimto kumushita pa mkosha pa spine mabonzo ya isasi so watu bati to 40,000 manje pano pakumokola tukwete abandi mapiso ekifie mapiso kienali mina biwezi kula kwa wakwete kofi wafulisha ngatwafulisha kuti umuntu yoda brother wandi atale wakwenda tumankuteko nabambiko ngatwafulisha.
For the father of a young daughter, the hope remains that one day he will regain his mobility, rebuild his life, and once again provide for his family. Favorite GC, Prime TV News, Lusaka.
Well, so we actually have a report on the family that was hospitalized, due to suspected drinking of poisonous Munkoyo. So let us join Joseph Siambihi as he gives us this report.
They were rushed to Old Mukoshro Health Center to save their lives. A family of 18 people from Luano district, comprising of 7 children and 11 adults, The age ranged from 3 to 45. This was after they consumed a traditional local brew commonly known as Munkoyo. Director Health Services for Luano District, Gideon Panja, has confirmed.
So on 3rd of June 2026, yesterday, we received a family of 18 members that had ingested traditional drink commonly called Munkoyo. So most of them were brought in around 9 hours, and around 11, that's when the two joined the family. So most of them were presented with acute diarrhea, and they were quite unstable because of possibly most of them presented with hypovolemia, hypovolemic shock, and fevers. So all of them, the 18 members, were managed right at Old Mukushi Health Facility within Luano, and the distribution was 11 adults and 7 children. The youngest being 3 years old, and the oldest adult being 45 years old. So all of them were managed from yesterday, and they've since been observed.
A case of this nature is not the first to be recorded in Luano District, as others have died in the past. Joseph Siambi reporting, Prime TV News, Luano District, in Central Province.
We pray that God intervenes and that wishing that 18 family member a quick recovery, and now we traverse to Livingstone. Traders at Livingstone Simatobolo market have expressed concern over persistent water supply and sanitation challenges that have resulted in periodic closure of the market toilets. Speaking to Prime TV 2, the traders said the Livingstone City Council has provided water drums for use in the pollution facilities, but erratic water supply continues to affect the operation of the toilets and sanitation overall. The traders have further stated that despite the market and its ablution having been constructed using the CDF fund, the lack of reliable water reticulation system remains a major challenge. They have since appealed to the local authorities and the local utility company to urgently address the sanitation situation, ensuring a constant supply of water to the market.
Simatobolo Market in Livingstone is one such a market still grappling with water and sanitation challenges despite having been worked on using constituency development funds. Traders at this market have told Prime TV News that erratic water supply by the water utility company has negatively affected them, calling on relevant authorities to come to their aid.
Problem yametima pezako tima facing pa market yatu tinango using a initiative kupempa bakanso kuti batupaseko madram so that tinozi silingako mu toilet yaba muna na yabakazi so that paliponse manza nozipezeka ndaba yakuti tinapanga ma flushing toilet so tinango cha request kuli bakanso banatupasako madram amanzi situation ya manzi eve kuloza pezati kuseni abwela azankala chabe within 1 hour then aenda throughout a day kuzankala kulibe manzi
nkani ya manzi angabwele kuchoka kuseni sometimes abwela usiku banatuleterako madramu kubakazi yabiri kubamuna yabiri.
According to the traders, the local authority has provided drums that to be used, but that the problem is bigger than this solution.
Here at Simatobolo market, here we have got a challenge of water. So we just have one tap. It's the one. We just have one tap. It's the one which is working here at the market. And what we need more taps so that water cannot be a challenge here at Simatobolo market.
The local authority, through its public relations manager Melvin Mukela, has acknowledged this challenge, stating that it is doing everything possible to ensure the problem is fixed, given the fact that this ablution block was constructed using Constituency Development Fund.
We are in the process of ensuring that all the markets have boreholes. I think the challenge is with the water utility company, which is inconsistent in terms of water supply. That is why the situation is the way it is. However, what we have done is that we have provided drums. When there is no water, they can use that water for toilet use. But then we wish to assure the marketeers at Simatobolo market that we are not just seated. We are doing something so that at some point we also have a borehole Simatobolo market like any other market where we have sunk boreholes.
For now, the hope remains in the local authorities' intervention that will see these traders have access to water so as to eradicate sanitation challenges. Paul Mbota, Wanangombe reporting, Prime TV News in Livingstone, Southern Province.
You are still on the Sunrise Breakfast Show with Cathy and Kizito. It is time now to look at what is making headlines in the newspapers this morning. So we start with a look at what is in the Diggers newspaper. It's saying, oh, sorry, this is, let's start with the mass, don't we? Okay, so it's saying Lungu Barrio delay, a shame. It's a national scandal, says Changala.
Yeah, Cathy, I know that later in the program we are going to have someone, a clergy who is going to speak to that. Yeah, but in a nutshell, we expected to bury the president within a week or two after, it was announced that he is passed away. And then, eyes are on Zambia, especially that we are a country that espouses God and our values. Naturally, even as Ubuntu, we have values to bury when something happens. So this is very new to the Zambian space, the political space, and we just hope that both parties, government and the family, will find it in their hearts to sit down and talk. Courts are there, the matter is in court, and we can't say much, but we can only wish that the former president is put to rest in the soonest possible time, and especially maybe before elections, because some of these things, when they drag, they have potential to create unnecessary emotions and tensions in the country. So I can merely say that the church mother bodies have made a position, government has made a position. Yeah, and so it's a matter that is emotional in every sense, and we just wish that we can bury the former president. And I know that both parties are interested in ending this issue.
Okay, so on the Daily Nation, it says, you want to come back for what? HH says.
Well, who is he telling, by the way?
I think he's telling some people, maybe.
Yeah, but in a nutshell, Cathy, I think that if words mean anything, the president has scored quite some goals. At first, people thought that he was just promising and that he would not walk the talk. And running a country is not easy. It requires a lot of effort, a lot of wisdom, a lot of consultation. And sometimes you are slow because you want to understand the ropes. But so far, the president seems to have picked the ropes. His focus can be seen. His policy thrusts are clear. And that's why I think he feels that, look, we've just done the first half. How can you end the game in the first half? So he is telling the contenders that I think he's still firm in the seat and still has a lot to offer. The Zambians will decide, in the polls. That's what we can say. As much as the president may desire to continue, the employers are the people, are the Zambians.
Indeed. I think that also that it's a matter of opinion here, because it's not a landslide that you can't win the elections like it's a landslide. You have to really convince the people, even if you've been in government. So I hope that he's matching these words with a promise of what he intends to do and improve on some of the things. Of course, you've said they scored some wins, but we also want to hear how they intend to work on the things that didn't happen well
what, Cathy, what are some of the areas
the power issue was really big during their period of governance. We had a lot of power cuts, and we were told that was due to a drought. So I don't know what that is all about. We need to make sure that they give us a clear plan of how that's going to work. Because already I've heard that ZESCO is asking people to keep buying the the solar panels
Yes.
and installing them.
Yes.
So that could mean we still have an issue with power. So that was one of the issues that a lot of people were not very happy with. And of course, even the talk about the high cost of living, a lot of people felt it because we saw an increase in the prices of food commodities. So that was one of the things. So well, I don't know if he should be asking that question.
Yeah. Maybe Cathy, talking about power. I think that as a country, it's our responsibility, all of us, and I think that we cannot put the whole burden on the shoulder of the current head of state, because Zambia has been independent for a very long time, and we should have looked at the population increasing, and then we should have looked at energy, alternative energy. So when ZESCO is saying please use alternative energy, they are not saying, because you see ZESCO is a business, and of course they want to maximize and make a lot of money from the power they are selling, but they are just saying, look, be responsible, conserve energy, use alternatives. So this should not come as a panic button to say, you know what, after this particular election there will be this. Of course we do understand that it is not easy, and today we are celebrating the environment. And you, Cathy, remember that on Monday we had experts who came here and said, look, the weather patterns have changed drastically, and it goes to planting trees, it goes to responsible behaviors, it goes even to saying, okay, look, what can we shut down, energy saving bulbs and all that. So really the call by ZESCO is not a panicky button. It's just to tell people that, look, let's explore alternative means.
Yeah, so we do need opposition so that we can hear from different voices, and so that we can make that informed decision. And it should be up to the people to decide who comes and who stays.
That's right. But you see, again, the word opposition maybe is a wrong word to use. I think it should be an alternative government, because when you say opposition, in Africa it feels like you want to oppose even meaningful
but
things.
That's the word, that's the name that we use. Otherwise, we will begin to name parties.
No, we should actually say alternative government.
Oh, I think it sounds better.
Yeah, because remember, in civic, we learned that government includes parliament, and in parliament you find people from the alternative government. So they're part of government, and if they say the government has not done this, they are part of government. So I think that it is high time also citizens realize that sometimes members of MPs from alternative government would want to leave everything in the hands of the central government. So there's central government, yes indeed, where the head of state should belong. But there are also these members of parliament who go there. Cathy, the people, even from these alternative parties, went in parliament to enact law. So they are part of the problem. They are part of the solutions. So when they say government, who do they mean? You are government, I'm government, we are government. Yes, indeed. In fact, in my time, when we grew up, when you see a car, JRZ, you stopped it, whether the driver liked it or not, because we realized we are government. Yes.
Okay, so we have another story from the Diggers newspaper, and it says, HH toss to free education law mocks opposition. Well, you see, I said opposition, you said no. Diggers is saying opposition.
Well, Diggers, Diggers just need to go to NEPA and be taught how to retweet the words. Yeah, but of course, the president is, in order to toss. Cathy, if you celebrate, even if you were 10-0 and you score 1, you have all the reason to celebrate the goal you've scored. And just talking about free education, Cathy, you may wish to know that Zambia is among the countries in Africa, about 13 countries in Africa that are pushing this agenda of free education. One of them is South Africa, which started a long time ago, Kenya, Ghana, and Rwanda, Morocco, Sudan. All these countries have come to see that it is important to walk this talk, and it's a progressive one, because you see, when a country has low literacy levels, you can't develop. The first thing that you need to do, really, when you want to develop the country, is the people must have the ability to read and write. So the president is in the right direction, and whether he lives, a state house or not, or community house, this is going to remain, and the trickle-down effect will be on our children's children. So this is progressive, not only for UPND, but for the country, for Africa, for the region. And many people are citing Zambia. They are using Zambia as a pilot to say, okay, How will it work? Of course, it has teething problems, but I think that, Cathy, to be honest, not to pay school fees is really a score. And those of you in Lusaka may not appreciate, because you're taking children to preschools where you pay a lot. But where we come from, some of us, a child has to walk a distance, and even a 200 kwacha is a lot of money, for a parent to part away with. You've seen a family of 18 members in a household. Now, if you have 10 people going to school in that household, it is a drain, on a family. So kudos, indeed, the president deserves to toast, maybe to toast even bigger.
Okay, so Money Daily says no campaign trucks detained. ZRA says. Yeah, so it says that the Zambia Revenue Authority has dismissed social media claims suggesting that it has impounded goods belonging to a political party, describing the allegations as false.
You see, Cathy, this is where we come in very handy as media houses. We appreciate the advent of social media, but I mean the ethics surrounding social media, because even for us as media houses, when we go on social media, we are supposed to be factual, we are supposed to research, we're supposed to tell people the truth, we are supposed to get both sides. So if ZRA indeed impounded, one was supposed to go to ZRA and say, look, give us a statement. They were supposed to go to the other person and say, tell us. And not long ago, we heard where Mausampa alleged that there was another polling station. You make a statement, and the following day you are seen apologizing. So people must understand that social media has come to stay, but we must understand that it is not your number one, the producer of content, because that content is not verified. I know there are good pages out there that are working very hard with editorial policies, but many of them, just come because they are passionate, and passion is not enough to contribute to governance. Yeah. So media must be responsible, and we see a lot of these things happening in our country. Not long ago, we are discussing the Xavier Chungu issue. We saw how our colleagues had to be taken into the custody of the police because perhaps ethics were not followed, or perhaps certain things should have been done. So yes, let people express themselves, but I think there must be a bit of upscaling, helping the people understand. All those who are bloggers, maybe they must subscribe to a certain institution that just them, heads up to what is expected as a report.
Yeah, so I agree with you that there should be verification before reports are made, but we also have seen how helpful social media has been in terms of alerting, where sometimes it's difficult to report, like for the former news houses, if I may say that, failed to report because maybe the issues are very sensitive. So we've seen how social media. Yes. So they've been good at, like shading light or being whistleblowers, if I may say that. So, yeah, but facts must be facts, and they must be verified. So I agree with you. Okay, so that's news from the papers today. Do you have anything else to add on that?
It's basically them. I think that that is one of the things making headlines. We expect the Ngoni king or chief to be put to rest on Tuesday, and we've seen pictures there of how the Chimbuya is quarantined to high levels. Previously, what happened in Chimbuya is that when you got the first thing you did was to tell them, give me money, and then if they don't, then you do powder. And that money was later declared because it was meant to help the bereaved family. So you collect whatever money you collected. It was supposed to, to be useful at a funeral. But what we've seen is boys and girls, elders and everyone just pouring powder. And some people may have conditions. Powder may not be very good for them, So perhaps those who are doing Chimbuya should first of all go to the first thing. Do you have money? If not, then it was supposed to just be a bit of smearing. But now what we see is powder bath. Powder bath. And I know that if anything happens in the Bemba land, in the Bemba kingdom, I know that it will be crazy, and some of us will have to change names quickly, make a disclaimer to say I'm no longer Well, yeah, I'm no longer.
Definitely, I would say that. You know, I experienced this funny a clip, I think, on social media where Dixon Jerry had been saying, I cannot be sprinkled. I will not be sprinkled. I don't like this. And we saw Honorable Mpondo just go over with a whole bottle of powder and sprinkle on him. And he just looked up and I said, is that Dixon Jerry?
Yes, of course he was trying to play a defensive game in advance, but culture remains culture, dynamic. Cathy, one of the things you see about even the celebration of the Inchora ceremony itself, at first it started as a small thing, it began to grow, now they will go to Nakonde, now they'll go to, so culture has been evolving, they'll go to Luangwa Fera there. So culture has really been evolving. Of course, the essence remains. The tribal cousinship helps to maintain peace and stability, but also wisdom is important. And we're looking forward to the fact that the king is buried without acrimony. Already we've seen on social media some people posting and alleging who should succeed, what should happen. These are concerns, and I'm hoping that these matters are put to rest without acrimony, so that the king is buried and quickly a successor is chosen to allow this great kingdom, small in my heart, to continue.
Okay, great, Kizito. Okay, so thank you so much for still being with us on the Sunrise Breakfast Show. And now we take a look at some bits of Did You Know teasers, focusing on what happened in history.
Not long ago, many children in Zambia did not go to school because their parents could not afford it. Today, 2.5 million children are back in the classroom, sitting on desks and being fed nutritious meals under the school feeding program. Markets are now peaceful with no kind of violence. Clinics stand where there were none. There's still much work ahead, jobs to create, futures to secure. And that's why Bali keeps working day after day. Because just as we delivered free education, we will keep delivering. For every child still waiting and every family still rising. Until progress is something every Zambian feels. We've started the change. Now let's finish the job. On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia. And let us continue to move Zambia forward together.
Why keep your business in the dark? Shine a spotlight on your brand with Prime TV2.
Has been assaulted by the ant.
Zambia's first ever 24-hour news channel and a trusted platform that helps business grow.
Botswana, of course, behind me is the Kazungola Bridge. And
we broadcast on Topstar, Channel 110, DTH platform, and reach an expanding digital audience through our Facebook page, PTV2 Zambia.
It's projects that have been dotted across the country.
Advertise with us today. Contact our marketing team on 0978 71 9477. Prime TV2, the home of breaking news.
Welcome to new world of entertainment in Zambia. Cartoons, music, news, movies, drama, series, documentaries, food, travel, the best from Hollywood and Bollywood. International football, including CAF competitions, La Liga, Serie A, German Bundesliga, Saudi League, Carabao Cup, Asian Championship, Barclays Women's League, local leagues, and much more. Grab your Azam TV decoder at Zambian kwacha and full kit at 589 Zambian kwacha. Affordable monthly packages, 100 Zambian kwacha, 200 Zambian kwacha, and 300 Zambian kwacha. For more details, contact us on 971-246-222, 763-664-455. WhatsApp 77-500-0013. Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
All right, we continue our breakfast show and many more interesting conversations. And of course, you are part of these conversations. You can send us a message. You can actually text, or you can really visit our Facebook pages and be part of the conversations. We traverse further, and we want to look at products and things that we consume as a country. Zambia is land-linked and surrounded by many neighboring countries, and so we get a lot of products from here, there, even across online products. But it is important that we understand that these products are regulated and they must meet particular standards. And without those standards, we risk the population to various occurrences. And to help us unpack, these kind of issues, and just to know the standards that are needed is an agency that needs no introduction. We are going to have a discussion with ZABS, an institution that is mandated to look at certification, standardization, and quality assurance. And to help me unpack is the director certification. Her name, of course, sounds like my ED, but I doubt if they're related. But I'm sure we're welcome to the interview.
Thank you very much for having us, and good morning to our viewers as well.
Thank you so much. So, welcome to Prime TV, and it's breakfast time. I hope you've had your breakfast already.
I had a little bit of coffee, so
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Excellent. Next time you come, we'll ensure that there's breakfast so that we can go that way.
Yeah.
All right. Just for the sake of the people who could be hearing about ZABS for the first time, of course, not many would hear about the first time, but just for the sake of just stressing the mandate, what's the mandate of ZABS?
Okay, thank you very much, first of all, for having ZABS here to share more information about what we do. So as the Zambia Bureau of Standards, we are a national statutory body established under the Standards Act number 4 of 2017. And we fall under the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, and we are mandated to promote standardization and quality assurance. By this, we mean that our functions involve the development of national standards. A national standard is a technical document which specifies requirements for a product, for a process, or a system. So we develop and publish those national standards, and they are available for the public to purchase. And then additionally, we also have testing laboratories. So we do provide testing for food products, chemical products, petroleum products, solar-related products, as well as construction products. And also in the medical space, we do gloves and condoms in our testing facilities. Additionally, we also provide certification services, certification of products, as well as systems. So you'll see, I'll talk about this later, I'm sure.
Yes, indeed.
As we go on in our discussion. We also provide training for both small establishments and large establishments. And all these services are available at ZABS.
Okay. Most people would say that we hear these institutions when there's a problem on the market, perhaps unsafe products, or perhaps someone has violated the standards. Is this the case, or on a day-to-day, you are on the ground, you are ensuring compliance? What is the situation like on the ground?
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's a very important. Our products, those are products that were manufactured locally, and we also regulated products that were imported. So after 2018, because of the implementation of the National Quality Policy, the inspections function moved and an institution called the Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency was created or formed. So they are in charge of regulating selected products that are on the mandatory standards list, which are compulsory standards. And compulsory standards, I mentioned that we develop standards, but because of probably the need to protect public health, safety, as well as the environment, certain standards are declared compulsory. So the Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency deals with the regulation of those compulsory standards for both local and imported products. We also had a metrology department. They used to handle scientific metrology. So because of the implementation again of the National Quality Policy, another institution was formed, which is called the Zambia Metrology Agency. They merged with the weights and measures. So they are a regulator in the space of legal metrology. So right now, ZABS operates on a voluntary basis. We are a friend of industry, and we promote the use of standards, manufacturers, even just consumers to be aware of the standards that are available. So we are disseminating information on standards, certification, and training. So we're not a regulator, but we do, through our services, ensure that there's conformity to the standards so that we protect the consumers and they are aware that when they do purchase certified products, they are assured of that quality and safety. So we are partners. We work closely with the regulators just to protect the consumers.
Okay, Ms. Mumba, if I heard you right, especially I need to put a disclaimer so that the Mumba feels better that, is represented here. If I heard you right, you're saying you people must, you are almost on a voluntary basis. So you don't go in and push people to comply to standards. Is that what you said?
We promote.
Okay.
So we don't necessarily push, but because when consumers are aware of the need to have safe quality products, they kind of create that demand, and it becomes compulsory, which makes our work easier. The more consumers demand for products which are safe, products which are certified, that creates a demand for the people or the manufacturers that are producing those particular products. So we do joint interactions or joint inspections, market surveillances with the regulators. We also have a compliance unit just to ensure that the standards or the certified products that are, or the clients that are certified by us continue maintaining that standard. So in a way, we regulate through compliance. Yeah, but not necessarily enforcing the way our sister agencies do.
Okay, and talking about surveillance and inspections, one wants to know how often are they conducted, and which points, what are the routes, what's your mechanism when you're conducting inspections, and if you find defect products that did not comply to or did not buy the standards, what would be your end action?
Okay, so we do, we have a surveillance program. I think we do surveillances mostly on a quarterly basis, but the frequency can vary depending on the need. And then we do these surveillances countrywide. We have a risk and compliance team that goes countrywide on the markets to purchase products that especially bear the certification mark. We publish lists of certified clients, and our consumers can access these lists on our website, on our social media pages, and this informs the client on who is certified by ZABS. So what our team does, they look out for uncertified clients, but bearing the ZABS trademarked certified certification marks. So those are the ones that we engage to regularize the use of the certification marks by onboarding them onto our certification schemes. They buy the standards, we train them, and then we onboard them for certification so that they regularize the use of the certification marks, which makes it safe for the consumers. And also promoting fair trade practices. Imagine, certification is an investment, right?
Yes, it is.
So you pay money, an institution pays money to undergo certification, that's an investment. And then there's a competitor who hasn't made this investment in quality and safety testing of their product, who is enjoying the benefits of certification. But they may pose a risk or a hazard because we cannot assure the safety of that product. So our risk and compliance team tries to ensure that there's a level playing field, that everyone that is using the certification mark has the necessary requirements for that use and the license to use the mark.
Coming to products on the market, I think Zambia has seen a lot of counterfeit products on the market, and I know that quality assurance is important. Combining the two, counterfeits, and why is it important, for the public, to see that this product is certified and not another. Of course, you not enforce, you not force, but on the part of a consumer, what does it foster when I know that ZABS has a signature on this product?
Okay, that's another important question. It's important for the consumers to be aware of the products that they are buying. There's emphasis on product labeling, for example. Consumers should be aware of issues to do with ingredients, issues to do with labeling, storage conditions, correct use of the product. Certain features of the product can indicate that this is a genuine or not genuine product. So when consumers are aware, because part of our mandate is to disseminate information to our consumers, they'll be alert, they'll look out for manufacturing and expiry dates, which is a requirement, labeling requirement, usage instructions, allergens, like I mentioned, so that they don't use a product incorrectly. And then again, the regulators come in place. They are the ones that ensure that the counterfeit products do not find themselves flooded onto our market. So we do joint surveillances as well, whether it's with Consumer Protection Commission or Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency, as I mentioned, or the Metrology Agency, even the city councils, the public health department. We do work closely to ensure that our consumers are kept safe.
Okay. Talking about condoms, I think you did mention them here, and it's a topic of concern. There was a particular time in 2021 that there was a lot of counterfeit condoms on the market. What happened, and what lessons have you learned going forward? What are we going to replicate that will perhaps stop such an occurrence in the future?
Okay. So just in brief, I think I mentioned that the importance of testing. Part of testing is to confirm that a product meets the required standards. So it's important that manufacturers or importers use our testing facilities to confirm that their product meets the requirement. So some parameters or some quality parameters, it's not easy to see with the naked eye. This can also only be verified through testing. And products like condoms, of course, we have a very robust testing facility that assures that the condoms that are on the market are safe. And then there's a regulator again in that space. And for ZABS, we work with the regulators again. They use our testing facilities to confirm through the regulatory mandate to confirm that what they put out on the market meets the required standards. So again, that's where the collaboration comes in. So testing is one of the things that consumers should be aware of. They can access, even as a consumer of a product, you can walk into our testing laboratories and request for testing to be provided on your product. Manufacturers also access these facilities to confirm that what they will supply on the market meets the requirements. We've also seen an increase in the use of our testing facilities when there's a bid, a tender, we usually see an influx in the request for testing.
Okay.
Because I think even those that are buying or purchasing from various sources require that ZABS tests these products just to assure that what they're supplying meets the requirements.
So you increase credibility of people who are supplying products and services?
Yes, it increases the credibility.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Definitely does.
Okay, Zambia is connected to many countries in the region, and you want your products to be acceptable, in these neighboring countries. What is your role in just ensuring that the products that leave Zambia are well received on the other end?
Okay. So the Zambia Bureau of Standards has a lot of interactions with our neighboring countries, not only our neighbors, but also internationally. So we collaborate through corporations or through memoranda of understanding with our sister agencies, other national standards bodies, to ensure that we share information on standards, we share information on testing. We also enhance our capabilities in terms of training each other's personnel. We've had other bureaus of standards like Mozambique, Malawi, South Africa, Kenya coming to learn from us how we develop certain schemes like for products, or how we manage our testing facilities, or how we develop our standards. So we have a number of MOUs that we've signed within the region as well as internationally that enhances the cooperation between our countries. It facilitates trade. There's better recognition of Zambian products. There's easy movement across the borders. And again, with recognized testing and certification, because our certification services and testing services are accredited, meaning that we are consistent and we comply to an international standard. As a checker, we are also checked by an independent body just to ensure that we are competent and consistent to carry out the services that we do. So these MOUs have helped us. Our test certificates, our certification certificates are recognized, and it's easy for those that are certified to cross the borders. It also improves the quality of locally manufactured products. So these agreements, not only are they internationally signed, we've also got some that we sign locally with academia, with regulators. We also sign MOUs with industry just to promote trade and just enhance that cooperation amongst these institutions. I'll give an example. We have MOUs with Occupational Health and Safety, which is a regulating body. We have with industry through the Zambia Association of Manufacturers and also the Zambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, with Energy Engineering Institution, for example. Just to mention a few, as well as academia.
Okay, you mentioned in the preamble that standards and investment. Yes. And I know that Zambia has been crying the people in the small space always feel left behind, and sometimes they will tell you, I can't afford this, I can't afford this. And I'm aware that you have particular standards for each product. Yes. And if I try to diversify for the sake of just surviving, I will have 4, 5, 10 standards, and I can't afford. Are you not slapping the small business people? Is the rates affordable, or do you intend to review them, or what is the feedback you keep getting from people?
Okay, fortunately we have that covered. We've taken care of the needs of the micro, small and medium enterprises. We've developed a specific scheme, which we call the Certified Local Supplier Scheme. So they have subsidized certification rates. Even for our testing facilities, they have subsidized testing. Yes, which is provided to the SMEs. So we've taken care of their needs just to promote conformity to standards. Our SMEs are very innovative. They come up with novel products, products sometimes which are not covered by standards, right? But we've developed what we call scheme rules specifically to address basic hygiene practices which they can meet. And once they meet those requirements, they have also a ZABS approved certification mark. And this has helped a lot of micro enterprises access these big chain stores. I think as a consumer, you've probably seen an increase in Zambian products accessing shelf space in these multinational chain stores. So the certification that we provide to the micro enterprises has helped them a lot. We've considered their needs in terms of pricing, even in terms of the number of inspections or surveillance visits that we do. They consider it because there's a cost to it. So the frequency of visits also, bearing in mind that they have to be consistent, is also reduced. So they have a uniform, highly subsidized rate. For example, maybe to use the certification mark on an annual basis, they'll pay something like 1,000 kwacha, compared to a larger enterprise where the fee is based on 0.5% of the annual turnover. So it can vary. A company can pay as much as 50,000, but SMEs, just for the mark, they pay about 1,000 kwacha.
Okay. And can they pay this installment, speaking for people who are just starting? No, don't worry. let me come now to your office. Certification.
Yes.
What do you specifically do in your department?
Okay, so I am the certification manager at the Zambia Bureau of Standards. So our role is to provide product and management system certification. So under product certification, we've got the quality mark scheme. This is it's a premium mark for medium and larger enterprises. And then we've also got a certified local supplier scheme, again, for micro, small enterprises. And then we also provide management system certification. So this is your ISO 9001, which is quality management systems. We also certify environmental management systems, as well as occupational health and safety management systems. So we do certifications, and once a client meets the requirements, we issue them a certification mark and a certificate, which is valid for 3 years. And within those 3 years, we visit them once or twice a year, just to ensure that they're maintaining the standards.
Talking about environment, so is the mines part of it? How do you collaborate with them?
Yes, so the mines are actually one of our biggest clients. We've got clients on the copper belt from the mining sector, and we've seen a shift as well. The mines are helping their suppliers to get certified, because in some instances it's a requirement for you to supply the mines. They'll require certification from a national standards body. So we've been certifying the mine suppliers, which has helped also improve the quality of products and services that they're receiving.
We are in the digital space as we get to conclude. How are you using the media space, the digital space, to ensure that people access your products? Some of them may be in Kasama, Shangombo, and they may be saying, look, I can't travel, and all these other logistics. What have you done to ensure that your services are accessible?
Okay, so ZAB's services are increasingly becoming accessible in the digital space. This also reflects the Bureau's commitment to ensuring that we improve on efficiency and also make it convenient for our stakeholders. So what we've done is we have locations in Kitwe. We've got a Kitwe laboratory and a Kitwe certification office. We've also got a testing laboratory in Chipata. We've also got a laboratory in Mongu, and we're soon opening one in Solwezi, just to cater for the northern region. Additionally, ZAB services are now integrated with the government digital service, the ZAM portal, so clients can access selected services on the ZAM portal. They can access standards, they can purchase the standards, they can apply for testing, and they can also apply for certification. So we can issue electronic certificates. So those that are in remote areas do not necessarily have to come to ZABS physically. So we've made an initiative and a commitment to modernize and digitalize our services through integration with the ZAM portal. So that has helped a lot, especially in terms of payment systems as well, e-commerce. You don't have to walk into a bank. You can just make your payment online and access our services. You can track the progress of your application as well. So that makes it convenient for those that are accessing our services. Even on our socials, on our website as well, they can access us through our socials, Facebook, X, LinkedIn. We are available to provide information.
Well, and in conclusion, what is your final message to consumers, to manufacturers, to importers regarding the standards?
Okay. Thank you very much. So in conclusion, to the consumers, they need to be aware of the importance of standards, implementation. They also need to be enlightened through accessing training services. We do provide a lot of training for individuals, both online as well as physically. We have a training calendar that runs throughout the year. Individuals can apply for training services, again, also through the ZAM portal. They can register for these trainings and they can have these trainings. They can walk into our facilities, lab facilities, have their products tested here in Lusaka and the regions that I mentioned, Chipata, Mongu, Kitwe, and soon to be Solwezi. And another feature that we have, just to enhance certified products, those products that we certify, we've introduced a QR code system.
Okay.
The QR code system, I think we've been running campaigns on our social media pages. Our clients can look at our LinkedIn and Facebook. This is a feature where customers can scan using their smart mobile devices. They can confirm the authenticity of the certification of that product. So next to the certification mark, there's a QR code that is affixed. Once you scan that QR code, there's information about the certification status of that particular product, whether the certificate is valid and whether they're using the right standard. And in some cases, you can actually see the actual product because we've embedded the QR code system onto our database and you can see a picture of the product that you're buying. So for example, if somebody wants to counterfeit our certification mark, they'll have a product, for example, let's say fruit juice, fruit flavored drink, and they'll, if by some cookery means they affix the wrong QR code, what will appear there is bottled water.
Wow.
So that is an enhanced feature to protect the consumers because they'll be able to see and scan what they're scanning is what they'll be seeing and purchasing.
Wow. Thank you so much, Madam Sarah Shawamumba. Of course, not a relative to my boss, maybe, but thank you for this important conversation. It's important that people know about standards and then they buy standards. Well, let's just go to some of the stories in the country that are making headlines, even as we continue. President Hakainde Hichilema has assented to the Free Education Bill 2026, effectively transforming the flagship of free education program into law. Other legislation assented by the President includes the National Pension Scheme Bill 2026, the Public Service Pension Bill 2026, and the Pension Scheme Regulation Amendment 2026, and the Local Superannuation Authority 2026. President Hichilema has enacted the free education policy, demonstrates government commitment to reposition free education as a social service investment. More in the following report.
Free education, widely regarded as a hallmark achievement of the UPND administration, has now been formally entrenched into law following President Hakainde Hichilema's assent to 5 bills aimed at safeguarding education and pension reforms for future generations. The legislations include the Education Amendment Bill 2026, the National Pension Scheme Bill 2026, the Public Service Pensions Bill 2026, the Pension Scheme Regulation Amendment Bill 2026, and the Local Authorities Superannuation Bill 2026, which now becomes law. President Hichilema says the enactment of the Free Education Bill demonstrates government's commitment to repositioning education from a social service to an investment sector.
Imagine the 2.6 million kids who have gone back to school.
what were they going to be? And we have now moved education from a social sector to an investment sector. That's what we've done. Economic sector.
The president further says the pension reforms are intended to safeguard gains already made in the sector, including access to partial pension withdrawals.
We lost 10 years after 2011. Totally lost it. And now the colleagues want to come back. To what? We had a Kadionko in NAPSA of 20%. So we tested good things. Then we said, let's reform the whole pension system. It wasn't by chance, it is thoughtfulness. And we realized that the pension is not just through NAPSA. So NAPSA, then there were complaints from other pension schemes. Then we said, let's include NAPSA, hence the National Pension Scheme Bill 2026, and the Public Service Pension Bill 2026 to capture others.
Now, the pension reforms are expected to bring immediate benefit to workers and retirees, as the minimum pension will increase from 1,861 to 2,327, benefiting more than 17,000 pensioners, while about 30,000 retirees will gain access to advanced lump sum payments.
The law will give our members and Zambians in the diaspora an opportunity to participate in preparing for their retirement through the introduction of flexible and user-friendly product.
Your Excellency, the Zambian workforce has cried for far too long, and the transformation being witnessed today is a serious game changer.
These are transformations, reforms, modernization, and renewal of Zambia's education system.
Also at Kafuanka, Prime TV News, Lusaka.
Zambia heads to the 2026 general election, a defining moment for the nation's democracy. Who will win the presidential poll and what choice will shape Zambia's future? Follow the latest campaign updates, election stories, and breaking development. Tune in to PTV2 Zambia, the home of breaking news 24/7. From the heart of Africa to the world, we bring you the stories, voices, and development shaping the continent. Stay informed with the in-depth reports, current affairs, politics, business, culture, and major headlines across Africa. Africa in Perspective News every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 15:30 hours, only on PTV2 Zambia, the home of breaking news 24/7.
What is love if you don't give it away?
Want to charm a woman anyway because you are built to pursue.
A purpose marriage really, and it takes a lot of intentionality.
True companionship is not proximity. It is a mutual knowing. Intentional love will always win. Join us for Love Diaries, where couples share their love stories, play fun games, and more. Love Diaries, where love is honest, learning is constant, and conversations matter. Love Diaries, love will always win.
Good morning, and you're still watching the Sunrise Breakfast Show. My name is Catherine, And you can get us, and I hope you're getting us live on Topstar Channel 110 and Azam TV Decoder Channel 493. We are still streaming on Facebook and YouTube via PTV2 Zambia, where your voice continues to shape the nation and the national conversations. Well, today, June 5th, marks 1 year since the passing of Zambia's 6th Republican President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Ordinarily, anniversaries provide a moment of reflection, remembrance, and closure. However, 1 year later, the remains of the former head of state have not yet been put to rest. A situation that continues to generate legal, political, moral, and national debate. Beyond the court proceedings and public statements lies a deeper question. What does this moment say about us as a nation? How do we balance family, wishes, state interests, constitutional obligations, and the dignity of a former president? To help us reflect on this very important issue and the legacy of the late President Edgar Lungu, we are joined by Bishop Billingfula of Jesus Anointed Ministries. Bishop, good morning and welcome to Sunrise Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Kathy. It's such a joy to be a part of this great program.
It is so nice to see you because, you know, I have seen you on social media and I've read the great sermons that you've done, but to see you in person, it's actually a great feeling.
Such a joy, Kathy.
Yes. So today we are discussing a very pertinent issue regarding the late president and his remains. As a spiritual leader, what reflections do you have and what emotions come to you?
A lot of emotion comes to me right now, Kathy. It's 1 year. It's 1 year now. And we are saying the remains of our former head of state have not yet put to rest, meaning there's no closure yet. Yeah, there's no closure yet. And once a season has not come to its end, you cannot have another new season. So we are living in a suspended season as a nation, yeah, spiritually, politically, socially. So we can't ignore the fact that we've not put the remains of our former head of state to rest and live as though all is well and okay. President Edgar Chagwa Lungu was not an ordinary man. Yeah, he served this nation for 7 years. And it's then important that we get to give him a decent send-off. The time is too long, and it doesn't sit well for us as a Christian nation because I'm receiving calls from friends in other nations. And they're saying, but Bishop, you are a Christian country. Why have you failed as a Christian nation to resolve the issue of burying your former head of state all this long? Meaning there are a lot of nations around us that want to learn from us because of our identity as a Christian nation. So this is not giving a good reflection, not only to us as the people in the country, but also to the nations around us that want to learn from us. And so it doesn't sit well with me. Something must be done, and it's long overdue.
You know, we know that funerals bring people together.
Yeah.
You know, it's a time of unity. Even people who don't speak to each other,
That's right.
you know, during funerals find it within themselves to reconcile. But for us, what do you think are the lessons that we can learn, especially, you said we are a Christian nation. Yeah.
A lot of lessons. Solomon in Ecclesiastes and chapter 7, he has written telling us that sorrow is better than laughter. For a sad face is good for the heart. And one will ask, how can sorrow be better than laughter? How can a sad face be good for the heart? It simply means in times of mourning, when your faces are sad, it's the best time for your heart to learn. School can educate your head, but it is moments of sorrow, grief, and challenges when our hearts can get to learn. What are we learning in this particular period as a nation? Number one, reconciliation is important while we live. Very vital, because if we don't reconcile and give each other the roses while we are still alive, then it becomes difficult for me to see your roses when I am gone. All right? So these are lessons we must learn as a nation, as leaders, citizens, as families. It's important that every time opportunity to reconcile is given, let's reconcile. These are lessons. As hard as it may be, we must humble ourselves and learn. That is important for reconciliation to take place while we live. Give each other roses while we live. Okay? What other lessons do we draw from all this matter? Is that we must be able to teach families to also transition. When your father is a president, your husband is a president, then you know for sure that, look, I also cease to be Ofi. I must transition, I must be prepared, I must be taught. You don't only prepare a king, prepare the spouse, prepare the family. That when certain things happen, you must know state has its voice in all these matters. Beyond our emotions and pain, we must know that, look, my husband was no ordinary man, so there's a place I ought to die to self. Family must also know that. Then when certain things happen like this, it may become easier to transition. So prepare a king, prepare the family and the people around.
Yeah, well, maybe the question around that is because of the way that everything played out, unfortunately, because the president himself had already stated what he wanted to be done when he died. That's what we were told by the family. But now, where does the state sit with the final wishes having been
coming there? So now, yes, a wish was given. All right? So now, while the wish is being given, we must be able to interrogate the wish. What will it, you'll be gone, what will it mean to us? How will it play with all the rest of the interested parties? And why also that wish is the same matters of learning to reconcile, live right with each other while we live. Very important.
Yeah.
And then it's when we learn this, then things of this sort become easier. All right? Then also, on the government end, we must also be willing to die where we need to die, to allow progress to come in. Wherever there's a reconciliation, if people are to come to a place of understanding, if we are to be one, I must be willing to die of certain things. For a couple, for two to become one, they must be ready to sacrifice certain things for them to come to a place of oneness and agreement. And that's exactly where we are. Family must know what to sacrifice. Government must know what to sacrifice in the name of progress. We've been too long on this mountain, come on.
What do you think is the biggest problem? Why haven't we reached a resolution?
Thank you. Where is the problem? One, we want to also politicize this barrio. Everyone wants to gain mileage in the barrio. As a result, we are applying unnecessary pressure on a process that should come to pass. Very important. When it comes to this matter now, let opposition step aside. Let government also now look at dying to certain things to allow process to go ahead. Family as well must be able to look at that. When we come to that place, we'll put our honorable head of state to rest. Family must know he belongs to every one of us. Every one of us. And we mean well. As citizens, we want to bury him in a dignified manner. Government, let them be able to save the interests of both the family, themselves, and the citizens. That's it. Surely we are of age. He's not the first president we are burying. We buried Kaunda. There was a bit of contention, but it was resolved. We buried President Chiluba. We buried Mwanawasa. We buried Michael Sata. We must have learned. We should be able to be wise enough and get to bury. Also, superstition is also the matter here. All right? The spiritual interpretation of what is actually going on. Now that, no wonder the church is there. Why be afraid? As government, as family, involve the church fully. If there's anything spiritual, anything that is demonically orchestrated, we'll deal with it.
Have you reached out as the church? What
Thank
role
you.
have you played?
We have reached out on both sides. I, for one, plus my other church colleagues, we've reached out to government, reached out to family. Church has been playing its role greatly over this matter, but we are limited because government must play its part fully, the family must also play their part fully, and then we come to a place of consensus. My prayer, really, be told, I was praying and hoping that day, the 5th of June, we should have put the man to rest. At least, and say, look, while it's memorial, we are also burying. I'm sad that up to today, we have not done so. I'm not happy.
We have the 2026 general elections. Do you think this issue of not having buried our president our late president, would affect the elections?
All right. The atmosphere will be better if we put him to rest before we go to the polls. That's it. It is good for government to work towards that as an assignment that they have. It has happened in their tenure, so it's good to conclude it. Very important. So it's an appeal to our good and able government to work towards that. It's important to close these chapters for us to go into other chapters. And then advice to the politicians, the opposition inclusive, even the ruling party itself, let's not use this burial as a campaign platform. No. The opposition must not use it. Government must not use it. If they bury, it's not for political marriage. It is because it's a responsibility that they ought to do. The delay to bury should again not be taken as political marriage for the opposition. There's nothing political here. There must be goodwill, moral uprightness, good governance for the right thing to be done. So we must make sure we do that. Otherwise, we'll be arousing what we shouldn't arouse. Let's take politics out of the burial of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, our former president.
So I wanted to find out if you had to send like a direct message to the president, the current president, and the family. What are you saying to them this morning?
To the President, we believe in your intelligence, in your wisdom, and authority that you still hold. We strongly believe we can be able to bury the former head of state while you are on the throne before the elections. We believe in you. You are well able to do the needful with those that surround you in your leadership. And we'll be happy if that is done. To the family, we share your grievance, we share your pain. It's not easy to keep on mourning, to have a body not put to rest, the relative, because look, the pain is different. What you feel, Cathy, what I feel, is not what the widow is feeling. It's not what his biological children are feeling. All right? So we empathize with you, we sympathize with you. May God give you strength and comfort. And where you need to sacrifice and allow process to take place, we appeal in good faith. Do it for yourselves, do it also for Zambia.
Okay, so I want to ask you, how do you think we should remember President Edgar Lungu's contribution towards democracy and the political arena, you know?
All right. For me, as an individual, in my interactions with him as well, and also observing his leadership style, he did it in simplicity. Okay? A listening ear to people in the grassroots and people that would sit around his table, which was a good thing. Humility to embrace everybody, regardless of their class and status. That in itself, I reflect on that. And also, the respect for the church. Yeah, in times when there was crisis, he reached out for help and for prayers from the church. That in itself, we'll remember him for that. Yeah, and we must confess that in his tenure, okay, the relationship of church and state was also strengthened, which I'm glad to confirm and affirm that it has continued to where we are now. All right, and so we are so much grateful it has continued in the current government, because there was presidency that was actually set. We interact with government in national church programs that we ought to have. And so we remember President Edgar Chagwa Lungu for that.
Okay, so what does closure, or genuine closure, look like for you in this matter? And what should we do to take the nation forward while preserving the dignity of the former president?
Thank you. Genuine closure for me must begin in the heart, not just an outward act to say, hey, let's bury, let's move on, let's forget. No. It must be a heart matter. Yeah. Lord, where we've gone wrong, where we've not treated each other well, Lord, we are sorry. Let there be forgiveness between different parties at play in this whole matter. There must be closure within the heart. Then we act it out from the heart. That's it. Because after we bury, we still have a widow to take care of. If we don't close well, there are wounds that will remain open. There's still a family that we must well look after. All right? Yeah. Because whether we like it or not, this widow is a custodian of a lot of wisdom that Zambia still needs to utilize. The former president still lives through her and the children. So when we close properly from the heart, we will see it in the relationship that will proceed. They must be free to live in this country. Government must continue to support them. Whatever is due to them, let's be able to give them. Let them live happy. I mourn over Chiluba because his family has not yet gotten their inheritance. Up to now, Cathy, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
This was supposed to be the last question.
Please go ahead.
I just want to ask you one, and then you can also add in your last moments if you have any pressing things to say.
Sure.
But why do you think that we're still dealing with these issues that, for example, paying the families of the former heads of state?
Yes.
Why are we still experiencing this?
What is causing that? It's the same. Now, please, this must be well understood. What is causing all this? One, it's the witch hunting that would always continue. None of us is perfect. Mistakes are made, we err, but then you can't throw the baby with the bathwater. There must be something good about people. And we must learn as Zambia to magnify the good and diminish the bad and be able to deal with what is wrong. All right? Chiluba did a lot of good. We are a Christian nation today.
Because they live in a house that he helped them buy.
Look at
so that was like...
Even my mom is a house Chiluba helped us to buy. Affordably. He did a lot of good. We are a Christian nation today. Man, I never see God in a man. No.
That's strong.
Yeah, which shouldn't be so. Yeah, even with our very current president, a day will come, all right, whenever God will say he has saved, he's done his part. You can't be seeing a devil in a man and not see good in him. Then it means our reaction in that day will not be good. And it shouldn't be so. There must be a respect that we must put not just on the president, but on the presidency in this country. Very important. Because I have taught this, Cathy, that leadership evolves. Presidency is not final in leadership. Fatherhood comes after one serves in office. When they leave as president, they evolve and become a father to the nation. So they begin to now lead the country from a place we call fatherhood. That's why respect must continue. See them as a father because the experience they've attained while serving in office, no one else has it. We must learn from them. When we stress them, they will all be dying early and will have no one to run to when we are in a crisis. As we speak today, we have no surviving former president. They are all gone.
Sad.
If the president, current president, is stuck today, who will he go to? Who will give him counsel according to the Zambian context of leadership? There will be none. There will be none. There will be none. So let's respect presidency. Let's respect fatherhood. The day our current president will leave power, in that day, may he remain a father to the country, that everybody, those in office then, will go to get counsel and so on.
I'm sad this was not an hour's interview or an hour's.
Issues, Cathy.
Bishop, I should
that program.
I should.
We must come back for it.
Definitely will. Bishop, thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing your reflections, so deep and insightful. And we really definitely hope to have you here longer so that we can conclude this discussion well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cathy. May we campaign and vote in peace.
Amen. Amen.
And let the right man win.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop. Well, an important conversation indeed. Moments such as this challenge as to reflect not only on leadership and legacy, but also on reconciliation, national duty, and the values that bind us together as a people. Now we take a short break. When we return, Jeremiah Chalwa will bring us the latest developments from the world of sports as we look ahead to an exciting weekend of action. Wow.
They were rushed to Old Munkoyo Health Center to save their lives. A family of 18 people from Luano district comprising of 7 children and 11 adults, the age range from 3 to 45. This was after they consumed a traditional local brew commonly known as Munkoyo. Director Health Services for Luano district, Gideon Panja, has confirmed.
So on 3rd of June 2026, yesterday, we received a family of 18 members that had ingested traditional drink commonly called Munkoyo. So most of them were brought in around 9 hours, and around 11, that's when the two joined the family. So most of them were presented with acute diarrhea, and they were quite unstable because of possibly most of them presented with hypovolemia, hypovolemic shock, and fevers. So all of them, the 18 members, were managed right at Old Munkoyo Health Facility within Luano, and the distribution was 11 adults and 7 children. The youngest being 3 years old, and the oldest adult being 45 years old. So all of them were managed from yesterday, and they've since been observed.
A case of this nature is not the first to be recorded in Luano district, as others have died in the past. Joseph Siambi reporting. Prime TV News, Luano district, in Central Province.
Pangaso, date in Jimmy, that's the vibe put it. Date in Jimmy, and Mushanya, Nifini, so like you share to so fin. The party phone in the Pangan, so Nangunsha, lunch evening, lunch in Shidia, Ulala Fefin, who paid the fin, and Gabako Kama guys, Papunji pick up a fin, and pick up by pick up water. So Ngapuli and Jaffe once a day.
This is Enoch Matomola. A hit-and-run accident changed his life forever, leaving the Cabo resident paralyzed and dependent on others for survival. Although doctors recommended physiotherapy and further medical examinations, financial constraints have made it difficult for him to access the required treatment.
So I had to Magandi, my physiotherapist, I got a problem with so testambo kumibombe. Kumibombera na problem so toramtuma back kula ku Central Hospital so that akakaboni kakumkoshu kuna kasela so that ngabaka kwesha position the mukese kuna ku physio so for twaide kula ku Central Hospital kula ku Central Hospital kuba ishirete bata nabalondolera tine muntu nachula ishenda ndala finga kula ala fine amoru yonse ali ba paralyzed even ngwama bokwaya. So apaso nishi 30 njika teching to so kuchikata mabuko yonse yali ba affected.
Medical assessments have since indicated that Matomola requires specialized spinal surgery and related medical equipment valued at 40,850 kwacha.
Bakwaresanga fuidisheni ndala fiko kubetu kukula ala fine na huka na ikala kupashipona nala na ikala kupashipona nala shasa mbapo.
The prolonged medical condition has also placed a significant burden on his family, with his brother becoming his primary caregiver.
So I do about to 40,000. Manje panoda tukwete. Amani mapiso ekifia mapiso kienari mina biwozi ukula kwa. Wako teko fi wafulisha na tuwafulisha kufati umuntu elda brother wandi atale wakwenda. Tumanko uteko
For the father of a young daughter, the hope remains that one day he will regain his mobility, rebuild his life, and once again provide for his family.
A defining moment for the nation's democracy. Who will win the presidential poll and what choice will shape Zambia's future? Follow the latest campaign updates, election stories, and breaking development. Tune in to PTV2 Zambia, the home of breaking news 24/7. From the heart of Africa to the world, we bring you the stories, voices, and development shaping the continent. Stay informed with the in-depth reports, current affairs, politics, business, culture, and major headlines across Africa. Africa in Perspective News every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 15:30 hours, only on PTV2 Zambia, the home of breaking news 24/7.
What is love if you don't give it away?
Want to charm a woman anyway because you are built to pursue.
A purpose marriage, really, and it takes a lot of intentionality.
True companionship is not proximity. It is a mutual knowing. Intentional love will always win. Join us for Love Diaries, where couples share their love stories, play fun games, and more. Love Diaries, where love is honest, learning is constant, and conversations matter. Love Diaries, love will always win.
Before 2022, millions of Zambian children stayed home, not because they didn't want to learn, but because school was unaffordable for many families. Today, things are much better. No more tuition fees, no more PTA fees, and no more examination fees. More than 2.5 million children are back in class across the country, from villages to towns, from the cities to the districts and provinces. Schools are feeding our children and classrooms are full again. And with the Enhanced Constituency Development Fund, communities around Zambia are transforming education. More classrooms are being built, more desks are being made, more teachers are being hired. Because Bali cares. He has delivered this for all children across Zambia. Because free education is not just a policy, it is a promise to every Zambian child, a promise that poverty will not decide their future. A promise delivered.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove, love in a pie, that's the life we know. From the fields to the table, every bite it shows. Primarily me, the taste of home.
Prime Mill Meal, pure, proudly Zambian, the taste of home.
A sobering conversation from Cathy there with Bishop Billy Mfula. Indeed, not only are we, looking forward to bearing President Lungu, but we hear that President from politics, we just turn our attention slightly to another issue of national importance, and we just want to look at inspiration, and it's important that early in life we discover what God has called us to do, and destiny is not in age, purpose, and time. It begins basically starts very young in life, and in the studio is a young young girl, young lady if you like, very passionate, who has joined us to just tell us the nation really what she's all about. She's passionate for the gospel. She's confident. She's a remarkable wordsmith, if you like. And so I'm joined in the studio by Lubomba. Baby girl, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, nice to have you.
It's nice to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And she's joined by her auntie Olga. Our sister. That is sister, isn't it? Sister, right?
Either ways.
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you. But welcome to Prime TV.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. So let's start with my friend here on the set. You look very confident, like you want to take over the world. Tell us just about you. Who are you? How did you start music? Because you're very young. How old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
Wow, excellent. When were you born?
I was born May 10th, 2016.
Oh, okay. So happy belated birthday. I know we're still just coming from May, yeah. But how did you start this music thing?
How did I start?
Just tell us. Just tell people who are you really? Just tell people about yourself.
My name is Lumba, and as I said, I'm 10 years old. About myself, I really want to talk about the things that I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
I love singing, but I also love swimming, some sports, and crocheting. That's what I love.
Okay, and you are in a school uniform. Which school do you go to?
I go to Earthspark School.
Okay, all right. Looking at your talent, how many people are impressed about your talent, and how did you start this journey?
I started this journey when I was 3 years old, according to my parents.
Wow. So do you sing in church? Do you sing at school? Do you sing, at the parade? Or how has it been like?
It's been fine. I also sing at school. And I also sing in church. I don't think I've actually sung at the parade before. Okay.
All right. Of course, I know that music can be for entertainment, but you chose to do gospel. What drives you to do gospel? Is it that you love God, you are very spiritual, or you are not doing the other type of music? You went to gospel. Why is that the case?
I do gospel music because I want to worship God and I love God.
Wow. Olga, just speaking on, for a young lady, what does she do at home? What does life look for her at home?
Well, she's a child. At home, she's a child. She has her playing time. She loves crocheting. So majority of the time, you'll find her on the couch crocheting. When it's time to rehearse, she rehearses. But she's a child.
Wow. And how has the family supported her?
Well, the family is really big on support. Looking at how she loves to sing, everyone encourages her to sing. They encourage her to do what she loves. For example, her uncle, who sings as well. So you find them in the house. They rehearse 1 or 2 songs here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What voice do you do? Is it soprano? Is it tenor? How does it feel like?
I do soprano and yes,
Otto. Okay, all right. And your voice sounds melodious, angelic. And who is your biggest source of inspiration? Who inspires you? Who makes you, dream like I want to be like that one? Who's your idol in the gospel space?
It's through the acapella. And mostly I'm referring to my uncle. Both of my uncles, in fact.
Oh, wow. So they're the ones that inspired you to start singing. Yes. Okay, tell us about your songwriting. Are you able to do songwriting and stuff like that?
I could write my own songs, but I'm not the one who writes my songs. It's Uncle Mwapeka Songo who writes my songs.
Okay, and then when they write, you look at them, Do you check anything and say, okay, maybe change this or put this or, you know, and things like that?
I do check the songs, but I'm completely fine with the songs.
Oh, you're completely fine with the songs. So you use the voice in the songs. Okay, so that's a beautiful young girl, talented at a very tender age. At the age of 3, she discovered herself, you know, very tender, as you can hear, very confident even as she speaks. We just want to go for a break so that when you come back, we can sample some of her music. You can just feel in the studio what it will feel like. So let's go for a break and we come back and we see the song.
Before 2022, millions of Zambian children stayed home, not because they didn't want to learn, but because school was unaffordable for many families. Today, things are much better. No more tuition fees, no more PTA fees, and no more examination fees. More than 2.5 million children are back in class across the country, from villages to towns, from the cities to the districts and provinces. Schools are feeding our children and classrooms are full again. And with the enhanced Constituency Development Fund, communities around Zambia are transforming education. More classrooms are being built, more desks are being made, more teachers are being hired. Because Bali cares. He has delivered this for all children across Zambia. Because free education is not just a policy, it is a promise to every Zambian child, a promise that poverty will not decide their future. A promise delivered.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove, love in a pie, that's the life we know. From the fields to the table, every bite it shows. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Mama in the kitchen, we never eat alone. Primarily me, the taste of home.
Prime Mill Meal, pure, proudly Zambian, the taste of home.
Little hands, little heart, used to call my name in the dark. I am more, you are crazy, you hold me close every day. Jesus loves me, yes he does. Yes he does, yes he does. Jesus loves me, this I know. This I know, this I know. When I run, when I fall, you never let me go. Jesus loves me, this I know.
When I cry, you are near, wiping every tear, every fear.
When I see you rejoice, heaven dances too. And my voice, Jesus loves me, yes he does.
Yes he does, yes he does.
school because their parents could not afford it. Today, 2.5 million children are back in the classroom, sitting on desks and being fed nutritious meals under the school feeding program. Markets are now peaceful with no kind of violence. Clinics stand where there were none. There's still much work ahead, jobs to create, futures to secure. And that's why Bali keeps working day after day. Because just as we delivered free education, we will keep delivering. For every child still waiting and every family still rising. Until progress is something every Zambian feels. We've started the change. Now let's finish the job. On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia. And let us continue to move Zambia forward together.
Inspiring. What is the word? Hey, you are the best. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, wow, what a talent. And we're proud of you. That was amazing, your voice. Even the way you go, Palas, you know, that is very professional. Are you already learning some music chords, or this is just inborn?
I think it's just inborn.
Excellent.
Which I did, or
Yes, the one you recorded, the first song you recorded.
Oh, it's I See the Light.
You see the light. Wow, amazing. What does it mean? You see the light? Tell me about the song. Tell us about it before you launch it.
My album launch is called Changer, and it will be held at Michaela Gardens, 21st June 2026.
Wow. Almost just a few months. We look forward to coming there. But there are friends that are watching you. You know, they don't think that this is possible. You know, they are faced with a number of issues and they think they don't even know where to start. What would you say to them?
I would say, if you want to achieve your dream, you should keep on working hard and don't give up.
Wow. Hard work. And lastly, you know, to other people who have not discovered their talent, what should they do from your end? How can they just you know, discover, and the support from parents? Your parents and uncles and your community has been supportive. For some people, when they try, everyone around will tell them, no, you can't do this, just focus on school. How are you balancing school? And just conclude on that score.
How I balance my schoolwork is that there's time for school and there's time for rehearsing. I make sure that my schoolwork, my homework is first done before practicing my songs.
Wow. And what grade are you doing?
I'm doing grade 5.
Excellent. All right. The camera is yours. There's your camera. Look at the camera and say your last words to your fans, your audience, those who want to come to the album launch, and the country and the young people at large.
Work hard and achieve your dreams. Don't give up. And for those who want to come to my concert, the tickets are just 50 kwacha all round. You can go to my Facebook page and...
You have a Facebook page?
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
As I was saying, if you want to buy some tickets, please call the number which is on my Facebook page and you can get your tickets.
What's the name of your Facebook page?
Lubomba Maya.
Ladies and gentlemen, amazing. What a talent, incredible, starting at a tender age. That's what you see when you allow children to become. Sometimes we think children are children, but you can see the amazing talent that we have in this country. Baby girl, I look forward to you becoming, you know, a songbird of Africa and the world. We salute the talent and the people who are supporting you and the people who are helping you. We're very glad that you came to Prime TV. and we'll be very glad to host you, after you've done that album launch and you become famous. Please carry me in your car and in the plane when you become famous. Remember me in your paradise.
I will remember you.
Thank you so much. All right, so we go for a little break, and when we come back, we are going to look at sports and see what the weekend holds for us. And a man who needs no introduction in the field of sports is here to lead us in that vein and underscore. So let's have a break.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove, loving up stuff home, primarily meal, the taste of home, primarily meal, the taste of home. Mama in the kitchen, we never eat alone, primarily meal, the taste of home.
Prime Mill Meal. Pure, proudly Zambian. The taste of home.
Not long ago, many children in Zambia did not go to school because their parents could not afford it. Today, 2.5 million children are back in the classroom, sitting on desks and being fed nutritious meals under the school feeding program. Markets are now peaceful with no cadre violence. Clinics stand where there were none. There's still much work ahead, jobs to create, futures to secure. And that's why Bali keeps working day after day. Because just as we delivered free education, we will keep delivering. For every child still waiting and every family still rising. Until progress is something every Zambian feels. We've started the change. Now let's finish the job. On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia. And let us continue to move Zambia forward together.
It's all set for the Copper Queens tomorrow and of course Tuesday, when they will be playing in the Four National Tournament, which is going to be held at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. It's amazing, and everybody else is happy to see all the beautiful things that will be happening. See how the Copper Queens are training and how they're getting ready for the big one. We're talking about the WAFCON, because they're doing it for the WAFCON. But anyways, let's get started with what is happening in as far as sports is concerned. So much more to talk about when it comes to that amazing stuff that is coming through as well. We start with what is happening in as far as, of course, futsal is concerned. We did have some of the great league that was going on, and this time around we came through to the playoffs. And as we do have some of the games that are, some of the teams that have qualified into the playoffs. One of those is Automotive Lusaka, that has been really perpetual winners, and we're looking at Kafua Celtic, who came through, and they've really been improving, and they've done so much in terms of how they've done it better for them. And we're looking at how things are just going to be. So this evening we will be having two games that will be played. Of course, Moody Stars will be playing as well. These are the ones that finished on the table, on the log. They finished second, and Automotive Lusaka finished first. But of course, they had the same points. But obviously, the goal difference was the only thing that separated the two teams. But we're looking forward to getting into the playoffs, and that's where we're going to get the national champion and who's going to win it. This time around, is it Moody Stars or is it going to be Kafua Celtic? Kafua Saints as well in this CSA Spetauke came close. Last time around, they came second, and the other year it was Moody Stars that came second. Of course, we do have other teams that as well will be participating in these games. So it's going to be amazing games that will be happening. Of course, we do have two games, like I said, this evening at 17:30, this afternoon, 17:30, we have Lusaka Automotive versus Kafua Celtic. It's going to be amazing. And then later on in the evening at 19 hours, Moody Stars will play as well. And then on Saturday, we are going to have Kitwe Bullets versus Green Buffaloes. Green Buffaloes, not so a pushover. It's a very good team. Kitwe Bullets as well, very good team. So it's going to be a battle of teams that are going to participate in this. And Kafua Saints versus CS Petawuke. So one thing that's going to happen in this is the quarterfinals. Any team that wins gets into the semifinals. So no other games that will be played. Just one game, one win, 4 matches, and 4 teams to qualify into the next round of fixtures. So in the semifinals as well, we're going to have a different. Everything is going to change, and we will have the 3 series of games, or the best of 3 in every game that we played in the quarterfinals. So we're going to have in the semifinals, we're going to have 6 games to be played. If at all, the first game and the second game go different ways. Like for example, if Lusaka Automotive versus Kafua Celtic, if they were in the semifinals, if Kafua Celtic win the first one and Lusaka Automotive win the second one, then it means that they have to go for the third one. They are taking it to the wire. So that is exactly what it means. So best of 3 in the semifinals and best of in the finals. And big up to these teams that are going to get into this and participate in the big games that will happen in as far as futsal is concerned. So let's go and support these teams. We don't just have to come through when they are playing international games. Remember that they're playing at the Africa Cup of Nations. They've qualified, beating Ghana, and they really did well in terms of that. And back-to-back qualifying to the Africa Cup of Nations, this futsal team, and they will be playing in October. It's going to be held in Morocco, so we'll be looking forward to see that. And in between, they do have some of the friendly games. They are courting Tanzania, they're courting other teams, and they're supposed to be invited to Turkey, but they're still waiting for Turkey to invite them officially. And if not, they should be playing teams like Tanzania and any other team that they can play, because in their group, they should be playing some of those teams that have qualified to the Africa Cup of Nations. So they have to have a feel of what is happening. And in fact, in Tanzania, things have really changed as far as futsal is concerned. They have really improved tremendously, and they are really doing very much that we are doing in Zambia. But anyway, we hope that will change and we'll start doing better. Anyways, let's move forward as we talk about now what is happening in as far as mixed martial arts is concerned. 27th of June, and these matchups are really making a lot of champions who managed to win gold, and they're champions in their categories. But this time around, the 2 elephants are meeting, and let's see what is going to happen. And for Mtinta Mwene, it's just about revenge and prestige and coming back. She's from Rwanda, Angola, and let's see what is going to happen this time around. The two when the 2 fights, and there's so many other matchups that you can look out for. And hopefully we might just see one of those greatest matchups that you can actually look out for in these beautiful things that is going to happen. And let's get to basketball now. And there's so much to talk about when it comes to basketball. This is the finals, and we've got 3 teams that are already in the finals and waiting to see what is going to happen. And we already know that Midlands Basketball Association has dominated most of the teams from the Midlands, and they only have one from Chipata, fortunately. But anyways, we'll see. They beat one team from Kitwe. So it seems that Kitwe really, at the beginning of the championships, the national championships, it looked like Copper Belt is going to really take the center stage. But unfortunately, Lusaka teams came back and did exactly what they were supposed to do. So the fixtures, obviously, we'll see Unza Pesas start. Will play the first game, and they will be playing against Sonic. Sonic are from Chipata. So this is the game that is going to be happening, and an absolutely amazing game. And I know Unza Pesas are back, and they're really showing exactly what they're supposed to be. Because when you talk about basketball, you can never talk about basketball in Zambia without talking about Unza Pesas. These are the teams that have. This is the team that has won so much, together with Unza Pesas and the ladies team as well. They've managed to win so many trophies, and there was a lot of matchups, a lot of games that used to be. Matero Magic versus Unza Pesas used to be absolutely amazing. But anyways, they're fighting. Matero Magic went into B League. They were demoted, and last season they spent all their time in the B League, but they dominated. They're coming back, and they're playing into the national championship against Sonic. And then we've got Munadi Sons will be playing against Matero Magic, and this is the last game that will be played tomorrow. And Matero Magic, by the way, the defending champions, the national defending champions, And when you talk about Munandi Suns, they are the Midlands champions. So the Midlands champions versus the national champions or the national defending champions. So let's see who's going to win the championship and later on go into the Basketball League Africa, Road to Basketball League Africa. That's called the BOW. And let's see how the teams are going to be. And then we have Dolphins who will be playing against Buffaloes. And now Dolphins have been in the finals so many times. They played Buffaloes in the finals before and they've been beaten. They haven't won the championship yet. But I think they've been really fantastic in terms of how they've really done in the championship. They've never really done so badly. But I think it's just that time is not really the best for them. But this time around, they look like the teams to beat. They will be playing against Green Buffaloes in the feminine category. So one thing that you should know is the best of 3 games, the best of 3 series. So once they play, they will play on Sunday as well. So whichever team that is going to win tomorrow, they will hope that they win on Sunday. If they win, then they're done. They'll get into the finals. But if they lose, then they are going to get into the 3rd round games next week. So that is just one thing that is happening, and we hope for the best. And for me, for one, I feel like we have to exhaust everything. So I believe that they should finish 1-1 this weekend, and then they get into the third game. They have to take it to the wire. Every team should fight to take it to the wire. I know that other teams will be fighting to get through to win it, like Matero Magic. They're the giants, but Munandi Suns really should answer back and see exactly what they can do to make it better. And then we did have Eula. Eula was tremendous in as far as tennis is concerned. She went to Mauritius into the international tournament that was really happening in Mauritius, and she managed to win in the doubles. So it's the ITF Central Africa Tennis African Junior Circuit Under 14 that was happening in Mauritius, and she managed to win together with South African. Managed to win the doubles, and they were dominating in the doubles. So congratulations to Eula. She's coming back on Monday, and I'm hoping that I will be around to go and welcome her coming back with a gold medal at only. In fact, she's not even 14 yet, but she's really getting very well in terms of that. And she will be back to play in the J30, the ITF J30 that will be happening in Zambia from the 15th to the 27th of June 2027. It's going to be in 2026. It's going to be at Lusaka Club. So let's go and join this particular young players that are going to participate in this, and especially that Eula is coming from this fresh from this Eula Orlando. She's coming from fresh from performing and participating, and coming back to Zambia to perform in this particular one. And one thing that I have to talk about the J30, the ITF J30. I always talk about this, because it's very, very important for Zambia, especially that the last time we had this kind of a tournament was in 2003. So we had to come back with this 23 years later and managed to host it. First of all, we were in the hiatus. We were banned from ITF because we didn't pay some of the affiliation fees and whatnot. And then we had to come back in 2025. We were reinstated back, and after reinstation, this time around in 2026, we are hosting a big one, J30, which is a good thing. And we have so many participants, or so many players from different countries around the globe, around the world. And the Ministry of Tourism should take advantage of this and make sure that we have tourist destinations or tourist people that are going to help these that are coming through from different countries to come and, come to our country, Zambia. Of course, they have to leave a little bit of some forex here in our country. They can't just go back with the money without doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They are coming to play tennis, yes, but at least they should be be told where to go in terms of tourism attraction and everything. And getting into football now, we're really getting into one of those things that are happening, and the streams are ready. So we've got Stream A and Stream B. So in Stream A, we've got 10 teams that will be participating in these streams. And the other stream is Stream. So in Stream A, we have Kansanshi Dynamos, we've got Konkola Blades, Muza FC, and we've got Makeno All Stars. These are some of the teams that qualified just now. Napsa Stars, Nchanga Rangers, Nkana, Abaredi, and of course Powerful Power Dynamos, the champions, and Trident, as well as Zanaco. So these are in Stream A, and they will be playing against each other. And then in Stream B, we've got Chirundo United just qualified to the Premier League. And of course, we do have Green Buffaloes, the Nyata Boys, and then we've got Green Eagles, the Tonka Twende Boys as well, and Green Eagles, Cabo Warriors, Njanji Ninjanji, and then we've got Mufrida Wanderers, Avena Milambo, we've got Mtonda Stars, the Evergreen, and then we've got Nkwazi, High Flying Nkwazi, and of course Red Arrows, the Airmen, and Ron United, Sharp Stylish, and of course we do have Zesco United in that stream. So the two streams will play against each other from September to December. So the winner will play against each other in the finals, and the winner will get into the streams called. Remember that the last time that we had these streams is when we were changing the calendar from what it used to be and what we are going back to. The games we used to be played back in the days, we used to play games from March to November, and we moved to from August to May, and then it moves to August to May. So in between the change, it's called the Transitional League. This is the league that we will be having in September. So this Transitional League was won by Zesco United. It was controversial though, but Green Eagles could have won their first league games, but unfortunately they couldn't win. They were beaten, and they felt hard done by because the referees were not really officiating in a good way. And we all know that they had to disqualify a goal that was a clear goal. But anyways, it's just one of those things. But we hope to see which one is going to win this Transitional League, as we are getting back to what used to be back in the days when we used to play games from March to November. So then starting March next year, we'll start in March. So we'll have this Transitional League in September to December. And then the games will get into together. All these teams that are playing in the Transitional League will get together, and then we'll get into the league from March to November. The new league. In fact, it used to be back in the days, but then we are getting back to that. We do have the Four National Tournament that is going to be tomorrow and Tuesday. So these are the games, and some of you that haven't bought the tickets yet, you have to buy. Barbara Banda was saying, let's go and come and support us. We have to play these teams. We have to prepare for the WAFCON, and we have to be ready to qualify into the World Cup. So WAFCON will take us to the World Cup. So WAFCON will be happening next month to August, and it's going to be in Morocco. Remember that there was a fracas, some few things that happened. It was supposed to be back in February. That's when in April actually it was supposed to be, but it didn't, because of some confusion that came through after the Africa Cup of Nations happened. Morocco had to fight back in terms of winning the Africa Cup of Nations, and then FIFA, CAF gave them back, and Senegal had to go to CAS, and we're still waiting to hear from CAS what they're going to, the verdict that is going to be given, whether Morocco deserves to win or it's going to be Senegal. But anyways, coming back to WAFCON, it is going to be in Morocco in July to August. But then these are some of the fixtures that we have in the WAFCON, and we're preparing for this. So we are in the same group with Nigeria. Remember that Nigeria humiliated us from the other Africa Cup of Nations. So it's going to be amazing to have all these teams who are in Group C. That's where Zambia is, and they will be playing Nigeria, they will be playing Egypt, they will be playing Malawi, and these teams are ready to play against us in the WAFCON. And remember that at the WAFCON, that's where we're going to qualify to the World Cup. And remember that we qualified to the World Cup after beating Nigeria in the third and fourth playoffs. We qualified to the WAFCON, to the Africa Cup of Nations, and we played against Nigeria in the semifinals, and we won bronze medal. And that's the first time that we qualified to the World Cup. So we have to qualify again to the World Cup. This time around, it's going to happen at the WAFCON that will be happening. So we have to get ready, and this is the reason why we have to go in numbers to support the ladies as they prepare for this big women WAFCON that will be happening in Morocco. Well, this is all I had for you, and as far as sports is concerned, the sports update. Thank you very much. You can join me on Prime Television 1 later on at 17:30 as we give you more of sports. So many things that we haven't talked about. This is just an update. But yeah, thank you very much for everyone that has been watching the program, and everyone will come back on behalf.
entertainment in Zambia. Cartoons, music, news, movies, drama, series, documentaries, food, travel, the best from Hollywood and Bollywood. International football, including CAF competitions, La Liga, Serie A, German Bundesliga, Saudi League, Carabao Cup, Asian Championship, Barclays Women's League, local leagues, and much more. Grab your Azam TV decoder at 350 Zambian kwacha and full kit at 589 Zambian kwacha. Affordable monthly packages: 100 Zambian kwacha, 200 Zambian kwacha, and 300 Zambian kwacha. For more details, contact us on 971-246-222, 763-664-455. WhatsApp 77-500-0013. Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
Not long ago, many children in Zambia did not go to school because their parents could not afford it. Today, 2.5 million children are back in the classroom, sitting on desks and being fed nutritious meals under the school feeding program. Markets are now peaceful with no kind of violence. Clinics stand where there were none. There's still much work ahead, jobs to create, futures to secure. And that's why Bali keeps working day after day. Because just as we delivered free education, we will keep delivering. For every child still waiting and every family still rising. Until progress is something every Zambian feels. We've started the change. Now let's finish the job. On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia. And let us continue to move Zambia forward together.